Alright everyone, welcome back. So in the earlier videos, we created user, group and assign a policy to the user. But now we are going to use the almost similar policy and we are just going to apply to the existing group which we have created earlier. And in this video later we are going to discuss about the complete policy structure also. Okay, so let me go to my console and let's just navigate to IAM part. Now here, if you just have a look at, we have three groups we have created. In admin, we have a 3 user, developer, we have a 2 user, and a tester, we have a 2 user. In the earlier videos, we have assigned some permission to the John. Let's say for now, I'm just going to remove all those permission. Okay. So in a clean set, any of the user do not have any permission. Okay. Now, let's say we'll just try to do some testing with this tester as a group. So within a tester, we have a 2 user, Bob and a John. If you just have a look at even Bob profile and John's profile also, both of them doesn't have any permission except the Bob has one permission, that is IAM user change password, because that is being inherited directly from some other user's permission while we created Bob. And John also doesn't contain any policy. Now both of them are like a tester and we just want to assign some testing related permission or a policy we want to attach. So rather than doing those things individually to both of this IAM user John and Bob, what we can do at a tester level itself, we can just try to provide the permission. Okay, so for that we have to log in into Bob's account and to the John's account also. Okay, so to both of them we have a complete URL is available. Now definitely I just cannot log into both of them at a one shot, so I'll just go ahead one by one. So let me provide the John's detail. And maybe I can use some other browser I am having, let's say Firefox, where I'm just going to log in with Bob's account. Okay, so for the Bob, I'll just log in to my Firefox browser. Bob. Okay, so here in case of Bob's, you just need to change your password. The only reason is that IAM password change policy being already applied. So let's say I'll just go ahead with my old password and let me change the new one, Bob. Let me confirm the change the password, don't save it. Now to both of this user, let's say we want to provide some access. Let's say the access which we want to provide, that is related to, let's say something related to compute. In compute, we just want to provide the EC2 related stuff. So earlier we just tried to do it related to S3 services. Now no instance are running. So let's say we want to list down all the instance, or I would say that is equivalent to like a describe instances. So related to those two permission, if I want to provide some access, okay, still loading. Meanwhile, I can navigate to my John's account also. See, this is the John account. I can go to EC2. Definitely all API call will be a failure in this particular case. Let's say all instances are running. I just want to have a look at, and you can see, so in that particular case it's not authorized to perform this particular action. So you have to provide this permission, EC2 describe instances. Okay, so I'll just create some inline policy, and here also exactly same thing. Now rather than giving this or providing this policy and attach those policy individually to John and Bob as a both user, that also one can do it, but you can assign to groups itself and by default that will be available and inherited to individual user. Okay, so first ever thing is I have to go back to my root account. See, from the root account itself I can do it. So I am inside my tester user group permission, and let's say I'll just add permission. So let me create some inline policy. Now here I'm just going to provide the permission for EC2 instance, and which particular instance permission I just want to provide, that is like an action. So let me just search for this describe instance. There are a lot of describe instances. Say this is the describe instance status. So this permission, now grant permission to describe one or more instances. Okay, and I guess this is the good enough permission for us on which resources. So all the resources we want to provide it, because we don't have any specific resource currently available. And you can apply some condition also, that if user is multi-factor authenticated, which we haven't learned anything for now, then only this particular policy being applied. So let's say John is not multi-factor authenticated, is enabled, so in that particular case it will not be allowed to perform this action. Okay, and requested from some IP only. So from some specific IP only you can add this thing. There are some other condition also you can provide it. So when we learn more about the different service, you'll get a better idea. Let's say AWS related some principal tags. If you want to, if it is being compared with some particular value only, then only this particular policy will be applied. So such a kind of condition also you can add it. For now, let me press next, and let's say this is inline group EC2 policy. Okay, see EC2 list, and let me create the policy. So currently to both of this one, John and Bob, from the individual user we have seen we are not allowed to perform this particular action. Now let me refresh, and no matching instance found. That indicates that we are not getting any warning or error kind of message. So we are authorized to perform this action. And we can even test from our other browser where the Bob has been logged in. Let me make fonts little bigger, and I'm just gonna refresh once again, and no matching instance found. That means everything is going fine. We have successfully assigned a policy to our tester group, and tester group contains two IAM user. One is Bob and one is John. Okay, so I guess now Bob, I'm just gonna minimize it. I don't require. So we have successfully assigned the policy. Now we are going to explore one more thing related to this particular policy, that is the complete policy structure. Okay, so we can even go to all the existing policy, and one of the policy, let's say we'll take it and we'll just try to explore it. So let's say S3. Okay, some S3 related services, let's say S3 objects service. So this JSON, I just want you to focus upon it. Okay, now it is only having a one statement. I'm just interested in multiple statement. Okay, I can go for some accesses related to maybe some job function related stuff. Okay, let's just focus upon billing stuff. Okay, billing contains all the permission related to billing, lot of billing, but only one statement. In case of database administrator, see, yeah, it has a multiple statement. So what I can do, I can just simply copy this particular JSON. Let me go to some JSON editor, and let's just try to dissect the complete one with some nice formatting stuff. Okay, bang on. Okay, let me collapse every single stuff here. So here you can see the first ever thing is version. That's like a default value. Maybe in future they'll update this thing. In that particular case we have to update this version also, but currently it's like a 17th October 2012 version, and so far they are all running with the same one. That's with the same structure, so no issues so far. Now here you can add multiple statements. So statements are like arrays of the JSON, where individual statement represent that for which resources, what action you want to allow or deny. So you can see in a very first action there are 52 items being listed. So 52 item here corresponding to what action you want to perform. Let's say DynamoDB, everything one can do it. Let's say KMS, you can just list the keys, no other things one can do it. In case of S3, you can create a buckets. In SNS, create a topic, but you just cannot list all the buckets. You can only create the buckets. So that is the kind of permission being assigned and that is being allowed. On what are the resource? So all the resource this is being applicable. Let's see if some specific resource. So here there is a one more statement being added. Now for each individual statement you can add some SID also, that is like a unique identifier for individual statement also. Now they have written the statement, maybe that is not a mandatory stuff, but it's a good idea to keep it. Okay, in the second statement provided some permission, most of the permission being allowed for S3 services like a delete objects, get, list, put something, okay, on all the resources. And there is a third statement where only one permission, like within IAM just the pass role, and this is allowed on this many ARN resources only. So here you need to provide the complete ARN, which is nothing but uniquely identify individual resources. Okay, so that is like a complete structure of your policy. Now there are some limitations like something like a 10 policies or something like that you can attach with individual entities, but within this individual policy, which is nothing but a JSON document, you can add as many statement, or I would say sentences or statement, and each individual one will eventually define that what action on what are the services one is able to perform or allowed or denied for which are the resources. So that's like a complete statement we are putting into some sort of JSON language, and that is the complete policy structure. Okay, so I hope you enjoy listening this video, and I'll catch you in the next one. Till that time, please do like and comment on my video. Please do provide your support so that I'll keep continue making such a kind of video, and at the end please do subscribe my channel.